Top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while.
Live from the most powerful city in the world, New York, this is Squawk Box.
And then inside the energy economy, the CEO of oil and gas company Eclipse Resources will be joining us. Stick around. Squawk Box will be right back. Folks, let's shift back to some business news. Natural gas down nearly 2% this morning. Joining us right now with more is Ben Hulburt. He is the CEO of Eclipse Resources. That's a Pennsylvania-based oil and gas company that has recently built the longest onshore lateral well in the United States. And Ben, thank you for being here today. It's good to see you.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you for having me on this morning.
Let's talk about that well. I know it's called Purple Haze, but what exactly is that? The longest onshore lateral well? Is that like the siphoning that I remember from If There Is Blood or Let There Be Blood?
Yeah, the well, incidentally, the well name, that comes as a result of letting our engineers pick the well names. But when we drilled that well, we really didn't know we were setting a world record. But it has about an 18,500-foot lateral productive portion of the well. It's about 7,000 feet deep. And the idea behind drilling that well is really to get the lowest cost per foot of productive lateral out of the well, essentially spreading out the vertical portion of the well and the pad costs over a greater amount of productive portion of the well.
So far, it's beaten your own expectations. I guess it's been up and running about 100 days, and it's been more productive than even you had hoped.
It has exceeded our expectations, and that was one of the tests in drilling this well, was really to determine if we would get the same recovery per foot out at those extended lengths, where it's harder and harder to place the proppant as we're fracture completing the well.
Let's talk about the broader environment for energy. So much of what's been determined for stock prices has been just the broader prices of energy coming down so significantly and now stabilizing a bit. I mean, that has to be a lot of what you think about. Do you have any forecast for where you see oil over the next 6 to 12 months? Or natural
sure,
gas,
I think on the oil side, and
yeah.
Sure, on the oil side, and our company is 70% natural gas, but on the oil side, and we do produce some oil, in my opinion, the market right now is unsustainable. We have most countries in the world producing at or near their full capacity. We have the major exploration companies, you know, the major Exxons and Chevrons drastically cutting their exploration budgets all over the world. And you have production down in the United States. Where oil prices are right now in the 40s, there is very little places in the United States where you can drill economically. So it's not a sustainable price. At the same time, we have ever-increasing demand. The United States has become the swing producer in the world. So over time, the market has to correct at least into the 50s, if not the $60 range, before you really see drilling pick back up. On the natural gas side, we've seen...
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Ben.
On the natural gas side, we've seen rig counts down 60%. So week in and week out, when we look at the weekly storage numbers, we're producing 30 to 40 BCF per week less than we did at the same period last year. And the market right now is undersupplied, which is a good thing because with last winter's weather, we went into the injection season oversupplied. And we are week in and week out working off that oversupply. And we see natural gas prices moving into next year to be in a much healthier range in the mid-$3 range.
All right, Ben, I want to thank you for joining us today, and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.